Hello there, and welcome to Springboard Designs, your automation and outsourcing experts. This is Diane Potter, owner, and we are just finishing up a series on how to automate things in your business and in your personal life to give you more time back in your day. So, if you are getting kind of tired of the If This Then That series, which is the software we've been using to set some things up on Automate, then you'll be happy to know that this is the second to last one that we're going to be doing. This one is kind of a cool trick. We're getting ready to go into a cell phone series where we're talking about different ways to use your cell phone to automate some things. And in this series, I'm going to show you how you can use a Bluetooth and how whether you use Siri or whether you use Android, you can automatically, call people right from the Bluetooth in your ear, which is great. You think that's, something that anybody can do. Everyone knows how to do that. Except here's a cool twist that you can add to that to make things pretty automated. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do if this, and you're going to do a phone call. So we'll just find phone call. So if you're going to leave a voicemail at the if this then that message center, it's completely free, doesn't cost you anything except maybe airtime minutes if you have that. You're going to create that trigger. Now, one thing I would say is probably don't leave anything incredibly confidential, like your credit card number. I have no idea what the privacy parameters are on this, but you're going to leave a voicemail from my cell phone, and you're going to say, then I want this to happen, and we're going to choose an email. And what happens is, basically, it's going to create a MP3 file and send you an email, and it also dictates it. So this is a great way for you to be able to do what I call notes to self. And what you do is you set up notes to self, that phone number that they give you down here. I know it's all grayed out. Let's see. It's not showing it to me this time. Oh, there it is. I set up this phone number as a contact on my phone, and I call it Note to Self. So then this is what I do. Let's say I'm walking around the house or I'm driving. That is always the time when I think of something that I don't want to forget. Now, instead of trying to write this down on a piece of paper that I'll lose later, or trying to send myself an email or text myself, this is especially bad if you're going down the road, then I want a safer way to be able to brain dump things as I'm thinking about them so that I know they're safe, I know I'll get to them later. So I've called this Note to Self, as I said, and what I'll do is I will press and hold the Bluetooth button on my earpiece, and if this doesn't make sense to you, it will in the next series, and I will tell my phone that I want to call, and then I say the name, and if this was a normal human being, I might say call Ryan Potter, who's my husband, and it would automatically dial his phone. But instead I say call Note to Self. Then this service will pick up, and it's a robot, and it says you have reached IFT. That's what it because they all sound things out. They read things. They don't realize that LOL means, laugh out loud. They just say lol, and they don't know that IFTTT means if this then that. They just say IFT. So it's a robot, and it says you have reached IF. Please leave a message after the beep. Beep. And then I can talk to myself, and I can say, note to self, I need to remember to get milk at the grocery store next time I'm there and pick up the dry cleaning. And I hang up the phone. And then before you know it, an email shows up, and it's got that dictated in there. And it's also got the MP3 file in the event that the dictation is really bad. You can even take it one step further. I could have that email then labeled a certain way, right? When you get emails from, and then you got to do a Google search to find out what they say every time they come through, and I don't even know what they would say. But you could do an email search for IFT. know if I do enough T's. Well, let's do a search for note to self. Okay, so here's a perfect example of that. I don't know, I think I was in the car this day and I wanted to remember to send a thank you note to a friend of mine. She actually embroidered me a towel, which is why it's good to have the MP3 file here. But you can see here it has dictated that note to self for me. Now, I could even go one step further and I could have everything that has this in the subject line labeled a certain way, and then I could have all of those emails automatically forwarded to my virtual assistant so that they could handle that. Especially sending a card, since we use sendoutcards.com, and then you can just go and do that from the internet. So I could have the entire thing automated. Now that wouldn't work if I, needed her to run the grocery store because she's virtual, so that wouldn't work. But, she could ignore the ones that don't apply to her, and you can just set a general rule of thumb. But you can see how you can automate on top of automation. And think of different ways and set up different triggers to have these things go out clear to the very end to where you barely have to touch any of it, and how much time this would free up in your day. Okay, well, I hope that helps. And this is officially the end of the If This Then That series, and we're going to jump into a new series where we're using our cell phones. And if you have any other questions, then you can email me and ask me. I will just leave you with this. Anytime you're looking for ways to automate things, or you're thinking, I wish there was a better way, just come to the If This Then That, if it's all digital, and browse some of the recipes. You can browse them by certain channels, or you can even just look at some of the recommended ones. Here's what's trending right now. Here's what's been trending all times. You can also just look at a certain channel, which I already mentioned, or you can Google it and you can say best if recipes. Find blog post. Look at this, 101. Clearly I've read that one before. But how to be more productive, the 35 best IFT recipes. Alright, these are great time-saving hacks. There's no way I could go through them all. That would be ridiculous and you would get sick of it. So we're going to move on to another series. But spend more time here, and always check out my blog post for more IFT time-saving hacks as we write about them in the future. Alright, I will see you in the next series.